Carl Edwards has joined us. Carl is the Coors Light pole winner for Sunday's 45th annual Quicken Loans 400 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race.
I've been waiting to hear that from you.
Let me finish, Carl.
Okay. All right.
And Carl,
isn't that like 4 poles this year?
Carl, you have now qualified for the 2014 Sprint Unlimited. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, all right.
Carl Edwards.
I was about to start lobbying to see if you'd let me drive the pace car or something in that race.
Well, we've thought about that.
All right, thank you.
But congratulations, Carl.
Awesome. Thanks,
Certainly,
guys.
You've worked hard for this.
Yeah, thank you.
It hasn't been.
It's our 3rd or 4th pole of the season. It's awesome to finally get my picture with the Miss Coors Light. That's great.
It hasn't been easy, but this is your 12th pole in your career, first one here at Michigan. So, just talk about the speed that 99 Fastenal Ford has. Certainly, you'd like to get back to victory lane here at Michigan on Sunday, I'm sure.
Yes, and at first I have to thank the guys who put that car together. We've been working very, very hard as a team, as a group, from Jack Roush and Evan Lyle and Robbie Reiser, Chip Bowl, and everybody has been working. All the drivers, Greg Biffle, Ricky Stenhouse, the guys at RPM, and even the guys at Penske. We've all been trying to figure out how to turn the corner with these Ford Fusions and make them faster. And this weekend, Doug Yates, the guys at Roush Yates Engines, they've turned a corner too. We've got really great horsepower, and I just cannot wait to race this race car. It's a big day. So spent a lot of time at Ford yesterday. Edsel Ford actually let me drive Sweepstakes, the car that Henry Ford won Ford Racing's first race with in 1901. They said there's only 8 or 9 people who've driven that car in 100 years. So that was really, really neat and inspiring, and hopefully we can get their 1,000th win on Sunday. So a really big weekend. Hopefully we can pull it all the way through and get a win.
Questions now for Carl. We'll take one with David and then go to Stan. Go ahead, David. Raise your hand. We can get him the mic, please.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about, is that Penske Power really working for you guys today?
Come on.
Sorry, we were still trying to figure out how you were able to do this without your aero guy.
What's that?
Your aero guy that you lost. You remember?
No.
The one Brad mentioned?
Is this a joke? For real, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's serious.
I don't know
the joke.
Okay.
All right. Well, can you talk about, you mentioned getting the car turned better than the speed and all. What things did you guys do to improve them this fast?
Well, I'd like to say that, hey, this is evidence that, last week we talked, or 1 week ago, we talked about, Roush Fenway and things that we need to do better as a group and working with the folks at Penske, and we've just started this ball rolling. I mean, we talked just the other day about it, yesterday, I guess, up at Ford World Headquarters. This is one lap, and it's good, and I'm really happy, but the process that's going to put us out in front of Hendrick Motorsports and the guys at Joe Gibbs Racing and the rest of these guys that we race against every Sunday, that process is just starting. So if we can use this, these positive things like the pole position, hopefully a win, or Greg's run last week, we can use these things to move forward and gain faith in a better process. I think it's going to be great. And yeah, the engine is a big part of it. And today that the engine group came through huge. That's you can't hide a bad engine out there on that racetrack. That's a big racetrack where big power means something. And in your aero program, same thing. So, we just got to keep moving forward. But that's cool. So there's not a faster car in the place than our car today, and that's a big deal.
Stan
Creekmore here in the back.
Yes.
With RPMtonight.com. So, Carl, how different do you think the setup will be for the race versus what it took to qualify? Is there anything from today that will carry over?
We ran race trim for the first couple runs today, and we learned a little bit, but I think that it's going to be a lot different in the race. And that's why, today is great, and I'm celebrating today, but we've got some work to do, and tomorrow I think you're going to see a lot of guys pick up a lot of time. This new car is so fast here. It has so much grip. And when you pull the tape off of the cars, that now you've really got to make the whole car work. That tape and having the front end and all that taped up with all that downforce can make the car feel really good, make it go for a lap. But it is going to be a tough race, and I think that if it goes long green flag, if there are long green flag runs, None of us know exactly how the tire is going to act. You're going to have to be able to adjust on your car as well. So yeah, the race will be different, and hopefully we can master that whole problem and go to victory lane. That would be huge.
Other questions for Carl? Nate has one right here, please.
Nate Ryan, USA Today Sports. Carl, obviously Greg won the last race here in August, but before that it had been 5 years back to Roush's last win here, which was you. Mm-hmm. And even though Roush has, I think, 12 wins here, more than any other track, it doesn't seem like you guys have been as dominant the last 5 years. Can you, do you sense, I know that you said the race is going to be different, but can you sense, like, maybe the switch flips tomorrow or Sunday and you guys get that back? Or?
The first couple laps in practice, this is today, the first couple laps of practice were the most competitive first few laps of practice I've had in a long time, especially at a big racetrack. So I think that's good. But you don't know. Until the race starts, you really don't know what you've got. I think tomorrow we'll know more. At the end of the day, if we're a tenth faster than the field or Greg's a tenth or two faster than the field, we'll feel really good. But until then, we just don't know. But I think a real positive for us was Greg's second place run last week. That was huge. I mean, we went out and led a couple laps at the beginning, then we fell back and struggled on the restarts. And to watch Greg up there every restart be able to go by guys, and I mean, I don't know if anybody had something for the 48, but to me, Greg's run last week says more about our organization and our ability than even this pole position here. I think that's something that got me real excited. Yeah, because he was able to just drive up and drive by those guys, especially on the restarts. And at a place like Pocono, I mean, you got to have your stuff together. Your car's got to be really good to do that.
Over here to Mike, to the left, please. Down the row here. Right here.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about sweepstakes and where did you actually take it and what did you get it up to, and did you have any problems? Did you get crossed up at all during the trip?
Okay, let me tell you about sweepstakes. If you guys get a chance to go over there to the Henry Ford and the museum they have over there at Greenfield Village, it's amazing. This car, Henry Ford, the way I understand it, was living with his dad. He'd had a failed automobile business. And this race came about. It's a 10-lap race on a 1-mile dirt oval, and they built this car, which is just amazing. It's we got it up to maybe 20, 25 miles per hour driving on the road there, and they said it would go 73 miles per hour in 1901. And I mean, it's scarier driving that thing 25 miles an hour than it is driving in the corner here at 205. So those guys were brave. And the neatest thing about that I didn't know until I talked with Edsel Ford and the guys there is that if it weren't for winning that race at Ford Motor Company, as we know, it might not exist. So for him to risk everything, build this race car, go out and race it with and win, and then be able to put together investors for Ford Motor Company. I mean, that's huge. So when we talk about racing and we talk about Ford, they've been racing from day one, and racing is what got the company started. So it was an educational experience. It was inspiring. It was humbling to sit in that driver's seat and think of Henry Ford 112 years ago racing that thing with his basically everything in his life hinging on whether or not he won. It's pretty amazing.
Other questions? Right here. And then to Lee. Go ahead, sir. Far left, Carl.
Over here.
Sorry about that.
A lot of the drivers have come in and talked about how much they like racing at this place. What's your take on Michigan? What do you like about it?
Well, there are a couple of things I like about Michigan. A few, actually. The first thing is that it was the site of my first Sprint Cup Series start, and that was a huge day for me personally. I'll never forget. They said, "Gentlemen, start your engines." I mean, that was one of the most emotional times I've ever had in a race car, to be able to get the opportunity to compete at this level. So that's really big for me. The second thing is that every win we have here is special. It's really special to stand in victory lane with Jack Roush. I mean, Jack Roush, a lot of you guys know him personally. If you don't, you should take a moment and talk with him, because he's a true American hero. He's a guy who's risked everything, who's built his company and provided a living for thousands of people. And this is his backyard. So there's a lot of pride when he wins here. I mean, it means a lot to him. So to be able to be part of those wins with Jack is huge. And for Ford, Ford puts a lot into this. I think Mr. Mullally, Jim Farley, Edsel Ford, a lot of people will be here on Sunday, and they like to win. And so if you can do that for them here, it's really special. And not to mention the track's super fun to race on. The new pavement is aging a little bit. Hopefully it will continue to do that. It seems like it's aged more in a year than a lot of the new pavement, new tracks have, new surfaces, I should say. And so hopefully we can keep developing the Goodyear tire to keep making it softer and softer to where it it becomes the old Michigan here in a year or two. I think that's going to be awesome.
Over here, Lee, to the right.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Jimmy mentioned a run you took before qualifying. Can you talk about it?
Yeah, so I went to go for a run, and I hadn't done this for a long time, but as soon as I shut the door on the rental car, I realized I locked the keys in it. So it was about, I got about an hour and 20 minutes to get back to the track before qualifying, so I called Randy. Randy came over to pick me up, and then Randy, he's got this, we call it Fuller dust. He can fix anything. So we pull out of the parking lot, and we had somebody arranged to come with the tow truck. It was going to cost like $80 to get this car unlocked. And he's like, if we could just find a police officer. They got Slim Jims. And then we drove by used car lot, and I thought, man, those guys, I'm sure they can get in a car. So Randy went in, and the guy came out with a crowbar and some couple coat hangers. And so we went and broke into this car and got the keys and made it back. So it was good. It kept my mind off of the stress of qualifying. It was a little adventure. So Jimmy says I should go running more often. But, yeah. If he'd have known how close I was to not making it back, I don't think he'd say that.
Any other questions?
Yes, yep, Thursday. And I think we filmed the sweepstakes when I got to drive sweepstakes, and I don't know where it will be, if they'll put it on FordRacing.com or do you know? It'll be on FordRacing.com. It's really neat. It's really cool.
Mike?
Carl, where were you when you locked the keys in exactly?
Just up the road. I'd rather not say. I don't know if the guy wants me to call him out or not. I mean, he did use a crowbar and break in the car. And
I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't ask him how he knew how to do that so well, but
Really wanted that pole, didn't you?
I did.
Yes.
It was good.
Mike, right here.
Yeah, I want to know how it is that you have a rental car that's old enough that you can lock the keys in it. That's impossible to do now, right?
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. And it even had the little pad on the side, and the rental car company did not know the code to get in it. And they didn't have a key. And, yeah, so I was kind of stuck. But
That's great.
I'm just furthering the, the belief that drivers can't take care of themselves. I got people coming to help me all the time and stuff, so that's not good. But job security, Randy says. But yeah, right.
Well, Carl, we certainly are happy about your Coors Light pole.
Not as happy as me, but yeah, I appreciate it. At least I won't be bothering you so much.
No, I was getting worried there. You were going to beat it out of me. But congratulations, seriously, on winning the Coors Light pole here at Michigan. I know that means a big deal to your organization, and good luck on Sunday.
Thanks a lot. Hey, and thanks to all you guys for writing so much about Jason Leffler. He's a heck of a guy, heck of a racer, and what you guys have done to talk about his life and his success means a lot to all of us in the garage, so thank you.